Hey, what's up guys? Bipolar Dude here, and today I'm going to be talking about depression and specifically why it has made a long-term effect on how I listen to music and why it's hard for me to listen to music. So to start it off, let's just address the problem. It's hard for me to listen to music, and that's really sad for me because it used to be one of those things that I really used to do all the time, and I really love finding new bands and listening to new songs, and just music used to be a big part of my life. In fact, at one point I wanted to be a singer in a band, and I was a singer in like this little band, and I thought maybe music would turn out to be my life. In fact, I still kind of want to write music. So that makes, this harder because it just makes things harder because mostly everyone loves music, and when you're in the car with somebody, they want to listen to music, and when there's like a celebration, people want to listen to music, and for me now, music just either bores me, irritates me, or honestly makes me cry. So that's basically what it is. It's very rare that I enjoy, like genuinely enjoy listening to music nowadays. So let's get into why that is. So basically there are happy songs and then there are sad songs. Depression has made it hard for me to enjoy sad music because it's either too relevant or it's irritating, because in your head you're complaining to yourself all the time and you're shitting on yourself all the time, and then when you hear a song of someone complaining or shitting on themselves or shitting on something, it's just like, dude, get over it. Because also you tell yourself all the time to just get over it, even though you know it's like impossible. But dude, stop fucking whining. Your life's not that bad. Like, God, like, because that's what you want. That's what you tell yourself, and so you just don't want to hear it. And so that's why sad music is, not fun to listen to. And happy music, when you're depressed, it only takes like 2 weeks being in a deep depression to where you're like, that's it, I'm feeling like this forever, I'm gonna be sad forever. Even though it's only been 2 weeks, you're like, that's it, I'm sad forever, it's never gonna be good ever again. So when you feel like that and you have that mindset, your defense mechanism is that you try to accept the feeling that you're never gonna be happy ever again, or that you're never gonna be happy again. And you start saying like, I'm never gonna be happy again, I'm never gonna be in love, I'm never gonna have love, I'm never going to have friends, all this other stuff, and so you start trying to accept all the things that you feel are out of reach for you in your life at that moment. So when you do that, especially like when you've been diagnosed with a mental illness and it's kind of new for you, and you're trying to, and it's a lot to process when you've been diagnosed, and to go through that life change. And when you go back to happy music, or more, when you go back to happy music, or worse, like happy music that you used to listen to, nostalgic music, it just brings back that whole memory of how you used to be so happy, and it just destroys you because you're just like, I'm never gonna be that happy ever again. And it just like, you're like, I used to be so happy, I used to be have such a good life, and now I have to live with this one. And I remember I was listening to like All Time Low or something, like It's So Wrong It's Right. Just that whole album, just listening to it, that punk vibe, that like happy go lucky, like even when they say terrible things, it's like a happy mood, and like just that feeling of like, I don't know, there's that feeling of hope for things. I don't know, there's a tone of music, like the song 6 Feet Under the Stars, or even just like the major chords and just like that punk stuff. Anyway, the stuff, it made me feel like I wanted to go on like, it used to make me feel like I wanted to go on an adventure. You used to want to live and have fun and be great. And I used to do those things, when I heard those songs, it used to inspire me to do things and like have a good time. And that's what, when I listened to those musics, those were the memories that came back to me and what I lived. And that was great then, but now I just hear that and I'm like, I can't be this anymore. I can't have that fun. I can't be that joyous. This song reminds me of all the good things I can never have back. And there was a time where I was listening to it and I just cried. I just cried for like 10 minutes. Just, and I was like, I wanted to cry though, but because I was alone, I wanted to cry, so I let that happen. But sometimes things get terrible and I have to abort mission. Like, I was with my mom one time at the gym, and you're at the gym, you don't have anything to do while you're working out, so most people listen to music, and that's what I used to do, and it was cool and it was fun. It'd pump you up and get your heart racing, if you play the right music. But I listened to some old music that I used to listen to. In this case, it was A Day to Remember, and I had that same kind of feeling again. And I was like, I can't work out right now. I can't work out. I took the earphones out of my like head and I just stopped, and I was like, I gotta go. Or right after, we left the gym, I just told my mom, I was like, I can't listen to music while we work out anymore. And she's like, okay, alright, you want to talk about it? I was like, what, I shouldn't have said anything, and then in my head I was just like, but that's true, I can't. But yeah, even if it's not a nostalgic song, even happy songs, I can just get upset over. And so listening to sad music either irritates me and I get upset, and happy music usually upsets me, or sometimes that even irritates me because it's just like narcissistic music that I just can't relate to. They're like, oh yeah, I got all these bitches and got all this money, and it's like, can't relate to that, dude. I'm not balling like you. I'm not balling like you. In fact, my life is pretty shit a lot of the time. Can't relate to all of your success. Thank you very much. So that's that. But another thing is, because I get so critical of my emotions in, being bipolar, in my highs and my lows, because I'm so critical of my emotions. Can you stop? Can you stop, cat? Because I'm so critical of my emotions, I get like this cringe feeling from listening to music, because I just hear these people like bellowing out so confidently all of these like, what kind of honestly should be intimate secretive emotions, I guess. And so I hear this and I'm just like, oh my God, like that's so gross to like, because when you listen to music in front of somebody, like you're also kind of professing that's how you feel in a way sometimes. And so when I even do that alone, I get cringy at like just feeling like connected to someone bellowing out his emotions or her emotions, and it, you know, being something I'm passionate or intense about in that moment. I don't know how to like really explain it too well, but that's another thing. It like it gets cringy. Um but the last thing about um music that makes it hard to listen to, and this has to do with me having a mental illness and being bipolar, and me also kind of wanting to um be a musician a little bit, and I think even be an entertainer or whatever at all. But can you stop? I get jealous of successful artists. So as soon as I find somebody maybe that I like a little bit, I start watching their music videos or listening to their music, and then I see like their success, or I see how many people like them, and I start like thinking either, you know, they're not that fucking great, or they don't deserve it. Like, like fuck those guys. If I'm not, if I can't be that successful, then why the fuck am I gonna listen to this guy and support this guy who's so successful? And I just like don't listen to it out of spite. And like that's a horrible thing, to be that jealous of a fuck that you can't enjoy music because you're jealous of the artist. Dude, I don't know, this shit runs deep. Those are all the reasons, like combined, why it makes like my mental illness and more depression side of it makes it hard for me to listen to music. And I've actually been trying to work on this problem. Every time I go driving somewhere and I'm alone, I try to put the radio on and just kind of force myself to get over this, distaste for music. And I think it's been helping a little bit with it. It's become easier to listen to songs and listen to music while I'm driving. Sometimes I even, want to sing it sometimes if I'm feeling pretty good. So I am getting over it, I think. But yeah, being bipolar and being depressed took a huge, huge hit on my music loving life. Because yeah, it's still not as great as it was, and I still have all those thoughts and all those feelings sometimes. They're just getting less and less and less. So I think, I don't know if I'll ever get back to liking music as much as I did, but at least not hating it, or it not be so have it not be so harmful to my mood would be nice. But I mean, love songs now, even love songs, I think have recently become even harder to listen to, just because I've been getting a little red pilled recently. So that's another thing completely different from depression and being bipolar or mental illness. But yeah, that's a side note, which I think a lot of red pill information is super valid. But I think looking at love like that, or because people do genuinely have feelings for certain people, regardless of all other superficial factors. It may take those superficial factors to want to get to know someone, but I think two people with the exact same looks and or money or any of that stuff, but have like completely different personalities, I think people can fall in love with one way more than the other. I don't think that it's all superficial. And some people just legitimately don't think like that. Like, I definitely didn't used to think like that at all. And for a large part, I don't. And that's why, you know, dealing with everybody else's view of dating and everything and, you know, love and everything pisses me off so much a lot of the times. But if you listen to love music with a strict red-pilled lens, it just sounds like bullshit, gross, like what the fuck, this is all a lie, blah 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 blah. Anyway, so that's a whole side note other thing, but I just thought I'd throw it in here because I don't want to make 2 videos about music and why it's hard for me to listen to, so I just thought I'd throw that right in there. But anyway, so if there's anything that depression or any other mental illness has robbed you of that you used to love, then feel free to leave it in the comments and you know, tell your story. I'd like to hear them. And also know that I relate hardcore, #mood. If you enjoyed this video, you can give it a like. If you want to see more, for God's sakes, kitten, if you want to see more mental health videos and just random shit I do sometimes, you can subscribe. Alright, that's it for this video. And whatever you do, just remember, don't kill yourself. Bipolar Dude out.